Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Wait till y'all get up in here. Interesting, man. That was an interesting fight. Povetkin and Dillian White. Um, a lot of fans thought it was going to end by knockout. A lot of knockdowns happened in the fight. MMA champion commentary. What's up, man? So let a few more people get up in here because I want to know you guys' opinion about this. Now, when I went live during the fight, we brought it up, but I really didn't get a chance to ask you guys what you thought about it. Um, but I have a question for you guys about Dillian White taking this fight, man. One to get the rematch because he was talking about it right after, like literally during the presser. DB, what's up, man? Tyrone Smith, what would it do? You know what I mean? Then Kevin Johnson, Black Reality TV, what's up, man? That was definitely nasty. Before I get into the Povetkin and White, the rematch that Dillian White seems as if he wants already, he made it. It's on camera. Um, Yeah, I see Joey Spencer is on, man, but I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Y'all know I love me some boxing, man, but I cheat on boxing sometime with basketball. You know what I mean? So the Lakers and Portland game uh, is priority over that right now. Now, if this was Povetkin and White going on right now, then I'll be watching that. But the fights like that, man, if it's a important playoff game for basketball or maybe March Madness for basketball, um, like the Final Four or something like that, and it's a fight that I'm kind of like, I'll watch hoops over that. But I definitely got everything set. But then on ESPN, they got the what is it? Alvarez and Smith. So it's a lot going on right now, man. But this Lakers Portland game is my top priority right now. But look, man, let me talk about Kevin Johnson, right? So he went in there and fought Yoan Pablo Hernandez, right? Hernandez was a cruiserweight champ for about 3 years. IBF cruiserweight champ. I remember his fights with Cunningham. Remember the fight he had with Wayne Breakway, Big Truck. I remember the last fight he had in 2014 against Farad Arslan. I remember that fight. That was a close fight, man. Um, but anyways, he retired in 2014, right? So he makes a comeback to heavyweight. Good record, 29-1. Not a huge KO puncher, but southpaw. But anyways, man, what jumped out to me when I hadn't seen this dude in a minute. Um, 232 pounds, right? His obviously his career high because he's fought at cruiserweight before that. But come in at 232, but Kevin Johnson just walked him down. And usually Kevin Johnson is the guy that he's the slippery guy off the back foot or planted on the ropes, surviving rounds and giving guys a hard time, right? Well, in this fight, he looked like damn Sonny Liston because he was coming forward with the jab, making Hernandez miss. Look, Hernandez looked gassed by like the third round. He got stopped in the seventh. It was an 8 rounder. And to me, it looked like he was more just gassed than anything, man. But Kevin Johnson kept that pressure on him. And even when he would throw the jab and step to Hernandez, even when he wasn't punching sometime, it was just the mere fact of him just stepping to him on the front foot and just being right in front of him and not allowing him no room to breathe. That pressure in itself was bothering Hernandez, man. It looked like he was pretty much spent in round three. Um, just fighting off instinct. His balance was off. He dropped on the floor a few times, just getting tangled up and stuff. He just didn't look right, man. But Kevin Johnson kept that pressure on him. And look, Hernandez, a guy I know he has a lot of pride, former champion. He probably took this fight like, look, I'm coming back, make my debut to heavyweight. If I can't beat a guy like Kevin Johnson, then I should retire again. But and I understand that, but Kevin Johnson's used to dealing with guys that are 6'6", 250. He's been in there with AJ and Dubois and Vitaly Klitschko and guys like that. So some dude that was a champion, but at cruiserweight 6 years ago, and he's not like he's a huge puncher. It seemed like Kevin Johnson's like, I'm not gonna have no respect for him. I'm just gonna walk him right down, man. And that's what he did. He just pressured him all night and walked him down. And it was a drag out fight. This did not look like the Hernandez that I remember in the Cunningham. I remember he knocked down Cunningham in the first fight. I believe in the first round he knocked him down and he suffered a big gash on his eye or above. I remember that fight though. He suffered some nasty gash and they stopped it. Then they had a rematch and then he won a close decision. He had a few fights that were really close, man. Even the Jeff was good, bro. Was good, Jeff. Um, even the fight with Farad Arslan was a close, debatable fight. Remember, that was a split decision. And it seemed like Kevin Johnson took a page out of Farad Arslan's book. He came in there just, like I said, with the pressure and walked him down. Because that's what Farad did in the first half of that fight. Then Hernandez, to me, kind of gained his respect and backed him up a little bit during the second half. But that's that, my little under the radar spill about that fight. So Kevin Johnson lives to fight another day. You'll see Kevin Johnson in there with one of your favorite prospects, probably next week because they call him on short notice all the time. But funny though, one more thing about Kevin, man, I follow Malik Scott on Instagram, and Malik Scott put up a Kevin Johnson video, kind of giving him his flowers, giving him tribute to his defense. And he's a slippery guy, and I know, we just pay attention to guys like Joshua and Wilder and the top of the division, right? But Kevin Johnson's a savvy dude, man. Like his fighting style, he looks like one of them dudes that fought in like the 50s and 60s. You know what I mean? Just based on just his styles and the manner in which he fights and with his defense and giving you a shoulder. He can roll with punches and he's very comfortable and calm no matter what uh, predicament he's in. AJ was a little bit different. He got stopped in that one, but usually he's calm. You know what I mean? Look at the Dubois fight. He made Dubois readjust. But that's my spiel on Kevin Johnson. You, like I said, you'll see him in there with you know, one of these dudes, one of these up and coming prospects. But look, now Dillian White, um, he seems now his pride is telling him that he needs to take this fight, and I get it. Prideful cat. He's looking at this because I seen him and Eddie Hearn were talking, and he was telling Eddie Hearn that I had him hurt, just one of them shots that landed, so on and so forth, and he's right. But so in his head he's like, man, I can hurt this guy. I had him down twice, I can hurt this guy. But Pavet, yeah, you can hurt him, but he can put you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can hurt him because you hurt him in the was it the fourth round? You knocked him down twice. I think the first knockdown was more of a flash because he kind of went down to a knee. I think the second one was a good, nice shot that landed. Both left hand shots, but Povetkin's just more accurate than you, bro. Like he's just more accurate than Dillian White. And Povetkin was trying to land that overhand. He kept aiming for the overhand. And we know he has a good left hook, but we forgot about his uppercut. We also forgot that, well, he didn't forget Povetkin, but Dillian's susceptible to good uppercut shots. Look at the Rivas fight, look at the Joshua fight, even the Chisora fight. Chisora's landed some good uppercuts on Dillian. I think it's just his posture and the way he leans over that front foot when he puts that high guard up. He's a very heavy-footed guy. He's not a light, he's not light on his feet like that. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, Dillian looked kind of cold in there in the first round. I know if you got, he didn't look like he built up no type of lather. He just looked pretty cold in there. He came in there with looked like he had like a towel under his t-shirt, but he looked cold starting off, man. I thought he was doing well going into that fifth. I thought he was on his way to possibly stopping Povetkin, man. He was digging Povetkin to the body, but then Povetkin was coming back with his own body shots. He was answering what Dillian White was trying to do. You know what I mean? But I like Dillian White's heart. I like the fact that he wants this rematch. He's not saying I want to sit out or no, he's telling us what he wants, and it's the rematch. Now there's some rematch clause because of the title that he has for that interim WBC. So there is a rematch clause. Um, so what do y'all think about that, man? Do you think that Dillian White, you want to see Dillian White in a rematch with Povetkin? Do you think this fight warrants a rematch, being that he knocked him down twice? Um, but then he got finished like fatality, Mortal Kombat style, though, man. That was crazy. Let me say what's up to all y'all, and then I'm gonna get to what y'all think about him going into this rematch. Let's see here. Yes, Tyrone Smith, he gets one. Big Nick, what's up, man? Official AJ says Kevin Johnson, KG vet. Yes, he is. Roger, what's good? He said Joey got the stoppage. Let me see what's going on with that. This Lakers Blazers game's on commercial. Who is Sean Porton fighting? Formella. Who the hell is for? Who is this dude? I've never heard. Now I sound like a straight casual, but I like when it comes to these other weight divisions like that. Obviously, I don't follow them the way that I follow the heavyweights, where I can name you, 200 current heavyweight fighters damn near. Whereas this, once we get outside the top 15 of some of these other weight classes, I'm lost. I don't follow them that closely. Like I said, with the heavyweights, I'm following guys when they're amateurs, at super heavyweight and the amateurs through the Olympics. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When it comes to some of these other weight classes, once it gets out of that top 15, even the top 10 for some of them, I'm kind of lost. So I've never heard of Formella. I'm not sure what type of fighter he is. Sebastian Formella, huh? So I guess we'll see. He has a shot tonight to show us what type of fighter he is. Marvin Garden says, I believe Hernandez is Yoel Romero half brother. White won't rematch in December, 90-day suspension for the KO. Yeah, if you get stopped like that, they do the suspension. The Expert Jeans was good, man. AJ said the real card is on ESPN. Mark Wonderlick was good. The Watcher was good. He says no rematch needed. Marvin Gardens, I think yes, I think his legacy is cemented. But right now, I don't. I think he should just keep going. Usually, fighters, man, they want to. Most of the time, they call it quits once they get beat. Some guys, they get that win, and a nice win like this. This may be one of his trademark wins for Povetkin, um, and call it quits. But I think he really wants to get a title shot at the winner of the Wilder and Fury. I think he should keep going, man. I don't think this look like some 40-year-old that doesn't have a nah, man. People I think are not valuing that Michael Hunter fight like they should. They're just looking at Michael Hunter like some blown up cruiserweight that just came up to heavyweight. But Michael Hunter's a lot more dangerous than that. So if that fight was a draw, then this highlight reel knockout against Dillian White, nah, don't stop right now. And then you've seen guys like Ruiz get victories over Joshua. So I like that the shorter heavyweights are still making some noise because now it's the days of 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guys. But it's good to see these 6'1", 6'2" guys get up in there, man, and make some noise. David Nicholas says, he says, do you agree that Povetkin is the most technical heavyweight at the moment? I've always called him because sometimes the guy that fights in his manner, you can make him plod around in the ring, but I always looked at him as a come forward like a technical brawler, a guy that wants to brawl, but he's a technician at it. So, but the most, I mean, at the way he likes to fight, he's one of them. He's definitely one of them. I think Luis Ortiz is surgical with the way he fights. Tyson Fury is phenomenal with the back foot game. I think Andy Ruiz is great up and close when it comes to catch and shoot and rolling under shots and getting close like that. I'd love to see like a Povetkin versus Andy Ruiz. That'd be crazy too. But the most, I mean, he's definitely one of them. Mr. Doc, what's up, man? He says, ironically, that was the most composed and efficient I've seen White. Yeah, that's what I was saying during the live stream. He wasn't breathing heavy, um, using his jab when he did knock down Povetkin. I don't know if he noticed that Povetkin's not as hurt as it may seem on TV or to the crowd. He didn't go in there, and throw sloppy punches to try to finish him. I thought he should have been a little bit more aggressive. But again, maybe he saw something that I didn't, especially after that first knockdown. But the second knockdown, he didn't rush in there and try to finish him all crazy. He stayed behind the jab. Very composed. So I definitely agree. And I was saying that during the live stream. DSF says whoever thought White had any chance of winning is casuals. I don't agree with that, bro, because he knocked him down twice and shit. I thought what did I score the first round? I gave the first round to Povetkin. Second, I give it to White. Povetkin. I mean, he hurt him twice, bro, and he has size and youth on his side. Now, when it comes to all the technical points of it, that's all Povetkin right there. You know what I mean? But to say he didn't have a shot, though, I wouldn't say that, man. I guess it looks like that after getting knocked out cold, but definitely had a shot to win. I mean, somebody with no shot isn't going to knock down the other guy twice in one round. D Hodges, what's up, man? Let me see. My man, Expert Genius says he says, "Yo, Mr. Boxing, Rockman was old, Bird was on the way out. So this was Povetkin's best win since Eddie Chambers in his book. That was a good win. That Eddie Chambers was a very good win. Reed G, hey, how's it going, sweetheart? Um, the Chambers was really good win. I even think the Larry Donald fight was a good win. The Marco Huck was a good win. But I know you're saying his best win. I think this may be his trademark right here because he was an underdog in the fight. He was fighting somebody. See, we can't change the narrative now. You can't say that Dillian White was being treated wrong and everybody's scared of him and he'll beat everybody. And then now he gets beat. You're going to say, oh, he wasn't that good. Nah, we got to keep the same thing. He was one of the top 5 heavyweights. Povetkin was the underdog. And he went in there, and this may be his best win on his. This may be one of his best wins. Maybe his best win. The Rockman was long in the tooth at that point. But the one thing about the Bird fight, though, bro, I will say is Povetkin got thrown in there kind of early when it comes to the experienced guys. You go back and look at his fights, like when he was in his teens, like his 13th fight, 15th fights like that. He was getting thrown in there tough. When I mean tough, with guys with a lot of experience. That's one thing that I always gave Povetkin credit for. Is getting thrown in there pretty tough early with experienced guys like Larry Donald. I know Larry Donald's not an all-time Hall of Famer, but that motherfucker was tough to fight, especially if you throwing like a prospect type of guy in there with him. Jupiter B still laughing. Let me see. MMA champ. He says White has no chin in his show tonight. I think he has a chin. I just think, well, now see, Dillian White has been knocked down, man. I do see. I can see what you're saying about that because every fight, shit, I can say every fight, but the Rivas fight he got dropped, Parker fight he got dropped, AJ fight he got knocked out, nasty. This fight he got knocked out, nasty. Him and Chisora was both hitting each other and knocking each other's heads around. Helenius caught him with a nice shot that people kind of don't be talking about. What was that Helenius caught him with that buzzed him? I don't think Helenius even knew he hurt him. Was it a left hook that Helenius landed? So he does get caught, and it shows when he gets hurt. Like when he gets caught and hurt, it shows. Sosa says if they have a rematch, it should be in Russia. Well, it's definitely going to be a rematch. They're talking about December. Marvin Garden says low key hope Povetkin fights Pulev. I wanted that fight since like 2012. Bro, that's one of the fights that us fans been wanting. Povetkin and Pulev should have been fought. And a fight that they're talking about that's close to sign, Areola and Ruiz should have been happening 6 years ago. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's Pulev and Povetkin was definitely one of those fights. Like, damn, how they ain't never fought. Big Nick, I seen you leave this on the Boxing Voice too, but you say there are 4 winners tonight: Fury, AJ, Hearn, and Arum. Look, and maybe this may be a good thing for Dillian White because he may thought that, hey, I was focused. I went to Portugal. I got in shape. But there was still a lot of talk of him talking about fights that he had to win this fight to even get to that fight. He talking about Fury and Wilder and who's running from him. And I love the trash talk, but I think he was kind of overlooking Povetkin and people around him, man. You guys remember, man, when they came out with that news about the winner of this fight will fight Fury, Wilder winner, it was pretty much Dillian White's going to fight the Fury Wilder winner. And a lot of us are like, dude, you got to get past Povetkin first. And just the way that the media was presenting that news, like it's going to be Dillian White versus Fury next year. And it's like, you got to get past Povetkin. Maybe he bought into that, man. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to make no excuses for him. What happened was he got hit with a left uppercut that he didn't see. That's what had happened. So, but I'm just trying to look at it from his point of view. He's not going to get more technically more sharper than Povetkin. Povetkin's going to always be sharper than him, and Povetkin can just pull out them times where he needs to just be sharper than him. And he did it with a combination, and that was a combo that he always works on: left jab, dip down to the left, come up with the left uppercut. He always, if you go watch his bag work, mitt work, he always works that combo. Classic Mike Tyson combo. And Stacey McKinley helped them work on that when they're working with each other. So did Teddy Atlas. Two guys that both train Mike Tyson. So the combo is just sweet. That was a beautiful combination. It wasn't like a winging shot when they're just in the middle of a combination. They're just throwing wild at each other. This was a combination that he's worked on, and he can do that shit in his sleep. Haplotype was good, man. He says, Haplotype says, White got beat by an old middle of the road contender, two cheaters, all fair. Marshall Ministry says, personally never rated White as a top 5. Can't believe Ring had him number 2. He beat Parker dirty. Jupiter B says this is a loss for Hearn because he had just said if Wilder Fury take too long, WBC would elevate White to champ and have Undisputed versus AJ. It's over now. And that's what I was saying about overlooking Povetkin. Just overlooking this cat. You know? Big Nick says AJ's win over Povetkin looks so much better now. Povetkin always luring you into traps. He is great at it. And he was luring him into the trap of, here comes my overhand right. Here comes my overhand right. Mind you, already having to be on the lookout for the left hook, but it was a left uppercut that got him. And that's when he's, Povetkin's just a crisp, technically sound. He's a smart brawler. He's a smart, technical brawler. He does it in a smart, subtle way. He'll try to stand on the outside and parry your jab and come back with a straight right or his overhand right that he was trying to land. Yeah, Mike Thompson, possibly, you know, possibly, but shit, it didn't knock down Radenko. It didn't knock down Michael, or it didn't stop Michael Hunter, so possibly, but I see what you're saying, though, bro. That was a vicious uppercut. And somebody, again, who I keep bringing up is Michael Hunter, man. This should make that draw against Povetkin look a little bit better, man. Jupiter B is showing no mercy. I kind of disagree with that, though, Jupiter, because there's only 2 losses, bro. It's to 2 dudes that's going to go down as 2 of the best of their era, and that's Klitschko and AJ. Rather than that, man, he whoop ass. I thought the Marco Huck fight, though, I thought that was a draw, and I possibly thought the fight with Hunter could have went either way. It ended up being a draw, which I thought was fair. But no, I don't think Povetkin is like some gatekeeper type guy. I still think he's a viable contender. He's just a 40-year-old, and he's not 6'8". But he's still dangerous, man. Even going into the fight with Wilder, I didn't know who to pick for that fight. I was literally on the fence because I'm like, man, if this dude get in Wilder chest, it's gonna be lights out. I'm talking about the fight that never happened because of the meldonium and all that shit, based on their styles and what I had seen of them up until that point. I was picking. I thought that was a 50-50 type of fight, and possibly shit. I wouldn't have been. Couldn't get mad at nobody if they were favoring Povetkin in that and going into that fight in 2016, which it didn't happen. Because like I said, Povetkin just doesn't just sit out there. He'll move his head and parry and get out the way. But that's the thing about fighting Wilder, though. You're just in line for a right hand, man. especially from distance, well, you're gonna be you're gonna be taking a nap. Yes, I remember when he iced Duipa. Was that an uppercut he hit? No, was that a left hook? But yeah, Duipa took that fight literally. I mean, literally took that fight on like not even a full day's notice. It was like a few hours. Like literally, the dude had on basketball shoes, shoes you hoop in. He didn't even have. You know what I mean? He had basketball shoes on, y'all. Dupa took that fight on like 18 hours notice. He was actually training for a fight with Takam for that next year, and it was like late January of that next year. He ended up taking a Povetkin fight like the first week of December, the month before. He wasn't even done with his training camp. He still had like 2 months left for training camp, and took that shit on short notice because the opportunity sprang up, and he got knocked out. Dupa will be back in action too. Was it next month? He's gonna be fighting. Yeah, all French showdown. Him and Tony Yoka. So just because we bringing up Dupa, Dupa will be fighting Tony Yoka. See, I think Hearn. Well, Hearn does a lot of business with Povetkin too, though. So maybe he can try to finagle his way to keep Povetkin over there. You know what I mean? Cause shit, Hearn has been involved with what the Povetkin AJ fight, the Povetkin Price fight, and then now this fight with Dillian White. Was there another fight he was involved in with Povetkin? Price, AJ, Dillian White. I want to say there was one. Oh, the Hunter fight, and then the Hunter fight. So Povetkin been doing some. Hearn's been doing some business with Povetkin, man. Would you say Povetkin messes up Hearn's ability to have an in-house undisputed? He better hope AJ gets past Pulev, which he should. He should. But man, the way shit's been going, man, with AJ and Ruiz in the first fight, then Wilder, not so much that he lost to Fury in the second fight, but just the fact that whatever thought Fury would get a victory over Wilder in a stop in the fashion and form of a stoppage. That's right, Retros for Life 79 Boxing. Let me see here. Marshall Ministry says Povetkin versus Parker in 2018 when Parker had the WBO and Povetkin was Mando. Who wins? Ooh. Uh, but Parker has good lateral movement though, man. That's one thing that I thought when he was using it effectively against AJ was giving AJ some problems. I thought he moved too much against Takum. I probably would have favored Parker based on his mobility and him being able to use. He has quick hands and use his jab, but he doesn't have a long reach. But his legs can give him that separation in absence of having that 82-inch reach, 83-inch reach. You know what I mean? But um, I would have probably favored Parker. Youth, hand speed, and just his mobility, and I think he would have probably offset a little bit what Povetkin want to do. Probably make him into a plotter for a majority of that fight, and just keep on the outside. But shit, man, Povetkin would have had a chance, definitely. I mean, wouldn't that's not even a pick I'm comfortable with though. Let me see here. Let me see. I missed a lot of. Yeah, God of War. If that's what Emmanuel Stewart said about Povetkin, he was right. He's gonna be a problem, man. I know, we throw his name around and stuff, but Povetkin's a problem, man. That's why whenever I see him on the slate, I'm not looking past that dude. Even going to that AJ fight, I'm like, yeah, I got AJ to win, but he gonna have to go through some hell and hot water possibly before he gets a victory. Like I think sometimes people forget, like as if like Povetkin's some guy that's got like, you know, all these losses and getting, KO'd every other fight or something like that. Nah, this dude has more than your average 40-year-old left in his tank. Like shit, going into that Wilder fight, and I had made this. I did a few videos talking about this where I thought going into the Wilder fight that didn't happen in 2016, I thought Povetkin had the second best resume up until that point, right under Vladimir Klitschko. So Povetkin has always been right up there in my book. That's why I thought that him in the Wilder fight is still, and even to this day, I still want to see that. And that's what's so crazy, man. And I just hope it plays out like this because I just never thought it'd happen that we'll ever see Wilder and Povetkin fight. But when this was set up a couple weeks ago, when they were saying, the winner of this is going to get Wilder Fury, and I was saying, man, we might fuck around and see Povetkin and Wilder after all. Well, Povetkin held up his end of the bargain. I guess they're going to try to have some rematch with Whyte, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see if Wilder can do his. I still want to see that fight. There still feel like just unfinished business there. I'm not saying it's Wilder's fault that this dude had meldonium or low amounts of it or whatever. It's not Wilder's fault, but I still want to see the fight though. So this fight ain't started yet. Let me go back to that Lakers game. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I need to check out this Lakers game though, man. Yeah, God of War. I hated that, man. When that fight fell through, I was pissed off, man. Man, I was pissed off when that Wilder Povetkin fight fell through. Cause I thought just because of styles, right? You guys remember, and I've always said this, that I picked Stavern to beat Wilder in their first fight. Based on styles, I didn't think Wilder was going to have an answer for when Bermain Stavern got mid-range or got in his chest, and I didn't think Wilder had a back foot game. I didn't see it. And then he proved me totally wrong in that fight. Regardless of how you thought Stavern fought in that fight, I didn't think Wilder was ever going to be able to fight off his back foot, turn him off the pivot, land the check left hook. He was just, and I know this Stavern was, uh, shit, pretty much complying because he just put the high guard up and just tried to like walk him down all night and was getting teed off on. But anyways, and then in the second fight, Wilder was stepping into right hands instead of trying to hit him with the right hand and then move. He just stepped into right hands in the second fight, and we all know what happened with that. But anyways, I thought that when Povetkin, who to me is much more polished than Stavern and just a better fighter, I was like, man, if he gets in his chest, I don't know if he's just gonna be able to just use the jab and pivot. I just wanted to see the fight, man. And then what was so funny, Povetkin and Stavern was gonna fight. And then that whole situation was crazy. And that's how Dupa ended up getting the Povetkin fight. Because first it was, I mean, that situation was crazy. First, Stavern took an energy drink that had something in it that's banned, but then the WBC just made him pay a fine and I think do some type of community service, slap on the wrist. Fight still on, boom. Then Povetkin popped for something. What was it that time? I forgot the name of what drug it was this time, but then it was something. Then Severn said, I ain't doing that shit. And he pulled out, and Duba said, no, I'll fill in. It was just crazy, man. Like, with these drug tests and the way just the protocol all around the world is so different in this country versus this country. It's just crazy what things they allow in different. It's just crazy, just the shit that they allow, man. Like with the Whyte and Rivas situation about not informing Rivas on the findings of the drug test until after the fight, and then the thing with the glove, man, is. But I guess that's the protocol out there. It's crazy. We need one uniform thing. What works here should work here. You know what I mean? All over. Yeah, Oshirin, that's what it was. Yeah, Marvin Gardens, I understand that, bro. And you could add 50 more zeros to that. But my thing is always, why is anything in there? Why is there even 0.1 up in there? That was my thing. It can't just be a little bit. Like he got caught with something, but he just had a little bit, y'all. Like to me, well, why is there even a little bit? You know? But hey, maybe that's just maybe that's just me. Shit, why is there even that in there? Dillian White. He gonna think about this one, man. But maybe this will make him refocus. Now he won't be thinking about Fury and Wilder and who's a coward and who's running from me and 1,000 days, and maybe he'll just be solely focused just on Povetkin and his career, knowing that if he does get this rematch and it does go through with it, if he lose, he could be set way back. Now, one thing about the UK, especially if they get a crowd back, but either with crowd or no crowd, they're going to support. Like they support Price, old Pricey, David Price. They support him nonstop, and this dude been stopped a multitude of times. You know what I mean? So they're just real supportive of their fighters. Shit, even Chisora has a handful of losses on his record, and they still support him through thick and thin. So they're very supportive of their fighters, man. But maybe this will help him readjust. Maybe just losing weight wasn't enough. Maybe there was something mentally. He needs to be solely focused on Povetkin. This Wilder Fury I'm getting all this. It sounded good, but now you have uh I don't know, man. He going I don't know. Uh do I agree Huey beat Povetkin fair and square? No, I don't think he beat Povetkin. I think Huey Fury was in a very close fight with Joseph Parker. I thought Parker won it 6-5, 1 round even. I thought that was a very close fight. But no, I didn't think he beat him, or I didn't think he beat Pulev either. I think Huey Fury needs to sit down on his punches more. That's what his pop said he gonna do when we see him again. So I guess we'll see. Will he be sitting down on punches? I see Expert Genius and Martial Ministry going at it. One thing I'll say about that, yeah, I did see that Jupiter B. I actually seen on my man Blue Blood Sports TV channel. Shouts out to him. But yeah, I just seen what Blue Blood had to say about it. I didn't see actual footage myself though. I just seen what Blue Blood said in the little audio that he played. That's a good point, Bretrus, for Light 79 boxing. But that's the stubbornness of Dillian White. Talks a lot of shit, gets dropped, get back up, tired, sloppy, but he'll finish fights. He'll fight with heart. That's just his stubbornness. You know what I mean? But yeah, he talked a lot of trash. Uh, damn, what I was gonna say though. Oh yeah, about the Klitschko and AJ. One thing, and I see you guys talking about that. Expert Genius responded to Martial Ministry. He said no, Klitschko was slow and still put AJ on his backside. He decided to take AJ to the deeper rounds, which was a bad move. Let AJ get his second win. I thought after he hurt AJ, and not that Klitschko is this Julio Cesar Chavez senior type of body puncher because he's not. But I thought he went strictly just head hunting. He just quit using the jab after he hurt AJ. He just was trying to head hunt for that left hook because that was a punch that he hurt AJ. Where he dropped him with the right hand, but he hurt him with that left hook as well. And he was trying to leap in with it, and he just tried to lead with it. It was getting so predictable to where even a tired, gas, winded, and hurt AJ knew the hook was coming. AJ was so hurt and gas, avoiding that hook, he was literally just bending down, face looking right at the ground. Not the, and they don't teach you that. They don't teach you to bend down like that because why you get hit with an uppercut. He was literally just bending out the way and Klitschko was still missing him, and he was just like loading up, and he was very predictable. And I thought he gave away a lot of time just trying to focus on that one pinpoint left hook when he should have been putting it together. Hide the left hook behind the jab or the jab right hand, and boom, here comes the big left hook, something like that. All right, but I'm a guy on YouTube talking shit, right? So what do I really know? But that's just what I saw. He just kept like loading up on left hooks. I'm like, man, why don't he try to set something else up? I actually predicted Joshua to win that fight. A lot of people are like, man, you're out of your mind. This kid only has this many fights. Ooh, Damian Lillard tried to attack the paint. But yeah, man, I was like, damn, I got my prediction wrong. This kid about to get knocked out, but he got back up, man. Got up, you know what I mean? Dusted his shorts off and said, I want to be great tonight. And made that decision that, nah, I came here to be great. That was a damn good fight, man. That was a classic fight, Joshua and Klitschko. That shit was classic. Yo, man, we complain about a lot of fights we don't get, man, but we've been getting, for this era of guys, we've been getting some nice, good fights, man. Like, these fights are coming along. There's still some other fights that need to be made still, but we've been getting some good fights with this era, man. Klitschko, AJ, Wilder, Fury, both fights. AJ and Ruiz fights or the first fight end up turning into a classic on its own, but uh, Whyte, Parker, AJ. We've been getting them. We go on and on with fights that's been made. You know what I mean? We definitely been getting them. Konaki, Charles Martin. I thought that was a good fight. Um, there's a lot of them. You know what I mean? The Ortiz and Wilder fights. Povetkin, AJ. Povetkin, Whyte. I mean, you've been getting some good ones, man. Rituals for Life, some of that boxing. Yeah, they do. I agree with that. Hey, y'all, I'm about to jump off, man. Talked about. You want to get out of here? You want to stay in here? Watch the rest of this Lakers game, man. Try to go back and forth between this Portland game and the Lakers and the fights right now. Porter fighting. I forgot the cat's name, but Porter fighting whatever that cat name is. I appreciate that $5 holla, my man BFTB boxing up in this thing. What's good, BFTB? Hey, where's your live stream, bro? After I got done, I tried to go check everybody out to just check everybody's reaction to when the knockdown happened, and your live stream wasn't up. Did you erase it or did they take it off or what, bro? I was trying to watch yours. I watched quite a few guys' live streams, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!" when he went down, because I was saying the same thing. Yeah, Alvarez Smith. I'm gonna check that out as well. But yeah, I'm gonna jump off here, man, and watch the duration of this basketball game and these fights, man. Go back and forth with these. But I appreciate y'all showing up. Oh, you deleted it? Oh, I know you'll make a post. I still know you're gonna make a post fight. Jupiter B says, please do a petty foul to BOTB. Yeah. Like BOTB, I know BOTB was going to cook. I know 78. There's a few guys I know that their response going to be a lot different than mine. I love listening to those, man, because it's hilarious. So I tried to, when I got done, I was like, let me go check BOTB out. And it was going, I heard 78s. I've seen quite a few guys, man. But hey, y'all, appreciate y'all joining me today 3 times today, man. I got up to 200 people watching on that second one, man. So regaining my audience, man. So I appreciate y'all showing up this time. Until next time, man, I'm gone. Peace.